Welcome to the dojo, baby.
This is Joe Doe.
Welcome to the dojo, baby.
This is Joe Doe.
Welcome to the Zoom.
This podcast is brought to you by Emotional Damage. Welcome everybody to the podcast today. The topic is financial abundance, and also actually, the law of attraction. Let's talk about intention and intuition. That's what we were talking about on Wednesday, and I really love that topic because it goes pretty deep, doesn't it? Like if you think about intention and intuition, like right now we are relying on ChatGPT to give us all the answers. We rely on the GPS on Apple Maps and Google Maps to get us where we need to go. But like, what if your phone died and you didn't know how to get to where you need to go? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay there and not get to where you need to go? No, like you'll figure it out. You'll ask that you go to a business or to a gas station and you ask the person, hey, do you know how to get to such and such street? And they'll probably won't give you good directions. So then you gotta stop at another gas station or another store. It's like, hey, you know how to get to this such and such direction? And then you may not even know your address. But if you don't know your address, you need to like remember, okay, what are some landmarks along the way that I can ask on how to get there and then get there. And then everybody's got a phone, so they just have to pull up their maps right now and then help you, but you don't really need it because everybody else got one. So you can use other people's technology to get to where you need to go. You just got to ask enough people, sometimes just one, sometimes 3 or 4 people. So what are your thoughts? And I'll start the conversation with this. What if you got lost? What if you got lost today on the way home? You didn't know how to get home. You know, how do you get home? And then see if you can analogize that toward something that you're actually trying to do. Let's go.
I am the right person to ask that question because I'm very bad with maps, direction, finding paths, geography. I think I don't have that sense of direction unless I have it on GPS, who would tell me that, you're going wrong. Sometimes I'm not even able to follow the GPS correctly. When it has got a transition, whether you go under bridge or over bridge or you go straight, it pretty much looks similar on maps. So the thing is, sometimes we know the final destination, we know where we should go, but what we want is to take the shortest possible path because nobody knows how much time you have. If I have to reach somewhere in the stipulated time, reaching there in time is much more important than trying to do experiment. Definitely. If I take advice from people, if I ask 10 people, some of them might know, some of them might have absolutely no clue, but they are trying to tell you from best of their knowledge and judgment, which can definitely be wrong because I know how bad I am with directions. But if somebody asks me direction, I would definitely try to help. Not necessarily always I'm trying to help. Sometimes I may mislead them. It's just that I'm trying to be helpful. I'm trying to tell them a direction which might lead to like some sort of direction where they don't feel clueless. But the thing is, somebody who has walked the path like yours, similar like yours, they can give you the best directions. Why Google Maps can give you best direction? Because it knows everything. It keeps on updating. It gives you sometimes real-time update, which has more traffic. So what knowledge we have, what directions we have, what path we follow, sometimes that knowledge becomes old and obsolete. Are we upgrading with that? Like about 10 years ago, if you take a slower route and reach your destination, it was still considered successful. But now, if you take 10 years to do this thing, which is trending today, 10 years later, that will become obsolete. There's no point finishing that. So we sometimes have to take the intentional route, though intuition matters, but intent and time and also optimizing what we are doing as per our intuition and intention is also important. Optimizing path, optimizing error, everything matters.
By the way, my friend Jamie says she loves your accent. She's listening in from that. She's a Samsung listening in right there. So she's in love with your accent. She said, "Oh my God, I love her accent." Like OMG.
Thank you, Jamie. MG is actually my initial. Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you think, Mons? Intuition, intention, getting lost and finding your way.
I did. I think I heard specifically around finding your way. I think if you are very good with intuition, but intuition, but I think this has to be trained and like a superpower almost. You could like probably feel your way through an area by, intuition. Like I thought about a test I heard, like the dolphins. There was a test. I'm not sure where it was, but it was like they put like dolphins in a maze where they couldn't use their mind to actually calculate how they get out. And then like they always was in a crossroad. And I think the test was to measure if they could feel their way out. And like I think there was like, very high, 95% or something that they actually did do the right choice. And I think that was based on the feeling of the structures or some way that they didn't consciously could navigate with their mind. What I mean with that is I think like you can use, if you're very intuitive, these senses, but I don't think it's practical for everyday people if we move in a city. So that was just a higher form of intuition that I thought about. Like for example, if someone is lost at sea, you have no map. The only thing you can turn to is some kind of like guiding system from your mind. Like I think that's possible, but yeah, you have to be trained for that. Otherwise, what was it? Like how I would, yeah, of course, I would probably just ask someone. I wouldn't trust my intuition with that. So I would probably just ask the person how I find a way. And that is often when I travel, hostels and like going from place to place or like hiking and stuff, that I always did that. I often just asked people that lived in the area, and because often like the phone wasn't there, or like earlier I don't know how, for some reason I didn't have it, the Google Maps. So I could start with like intention. I think also is very important. I think the intention you have when you do something affects what you're doing itself. Like it's like the starting point of the energy you send into a thing. For example, if you go to the gym, like what is the intention with you going there? For example, some can go for like looks, some can go for like feeling better. All these, the reason they connect with that habit affects the habit itself. So I do think the intention actually affect how you manifest the result in the activity that you are doing. For example, if I write and I have an intention with it, that will affect where what will play out. Like this can be seen psychologically, but energetically and in many different ways, I think. So that was some thoughts.
Okay. So getting abundance by changing your psychology. So basically, certainty. Tony Robbins says that certainty plus the right plan, you can achieve anything. This is an area of your life, and then you got to tell yourself that this is an area of your life that you deserve to master. Like whenever you're working on something, like if you say, for example, like I can't do this or I can't do that, instead you can say this is an area of my life that I deserve to master. For example, if I say, hey, I want to have financial abundance, I can say, hey, this financial abundance is an area of my life that I deserve to be a master. And what does being a master means? It means making enough money to live for the rest of your life, that you don't need to worry about money. You're a master of this thing. It's something that you don't have to stress over anymore, You already have things that you're a master of. Like some of us are masters of things that we have no business being a master of, like procrastination, getting into toxic relationship, Yeah, why would you want to be a master of that? You don't. But however, like it is what it is right now at this moment. But you can stop doing those things and then start practicing becoming a master at things that are actually useful to you. So name one thing that you're a master of that you shouldn't be a master at. Like it's not useful to you at all. And then name something that you'd like to become a master of from now on, from today, October 3rd, 11:22 a.m. in Eastern time.
I want to be a master in business. That is what I would like right now. Develop that, and that is something that I deserve to be a master. But I think like, but okay, so things that I am a master in that what was it that I didn't know that I didn't do?
That is not really useful to you. Something you're really good at, but it's not really good for you, Like something, and then you may not even consider this something you're good at. You may just consider this something that it is what it is. Like, for example, like I'm really good at what's something that I shouldn't be doing.
You mean destructive thing?
I'm really good at smoking weed. It's not. Armin, this is not something.
I'm good with this. Snooze, nicotine.
Yeah,
I can take high dose of nicotine without feeling anything.
right. So this is a thing that is something that is a leisure activity, like drinking or whatever, but it shouldn't be like one of my main skills. But it is.
Yeah.
I would prefer to be a master of my finances and my wealth. So what is that? What is that for you, Minakshi?
Okay. I am a master at attracting wrong people always for relationship, like drug addicts, alcoholics, people with anger issues, people who are expert in treating you bad. And also I suck at sales because I believe that I suck at sales. I am really scared to like approach people for sales because I know they're going to say no. That's what I believe.
Mm.
Well, like you have
So that
door knocking,
so to
my
put
door.
that to put that
Mhm.
like you to put that simply, you're a master at negative beliefs about sales. But go ahead.
Yeah. So you have this door to door. My door to door is like doing reach outs for people who have like attended my events, who has shown interest, and giving them a call. People who are my warm leads, and approaching people for speaking gigs, workshops, and I kind of have to do 50 reach outs a week. So sometimes I kind of,
Yes, I am a master at procrastination. I should not be a master. Like, why is that useful to me? No, it's you know, you know,
yeah.
I'm a master at putting things off that should be done right now. And then I'm a master of distracting myself. I'm a master of self-distraction. I'm a master of self-delusion.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at not waking up when I want to wake up.
Yeah. So these are things. These are things that are we got good at. I got good at these things, but now I would like to substitute these things for I want to be a master at with my finances. I want to be a master with my social networks. I want to be a master with my love life. I want to be a master with actually this is one good one. Like I am a master with traveling. I love traveling. It's my passion. I love it. So is Mons. He loves traveling. It's a master in traveling. We travel a lot of countries and we've met traveling. It's one of our passions. So, like so this is gonna be the theme today, and that's this. Like, how can we use our intuition and our intention to take this level of mastery that we have attributed to useless thing and put them into useful, wholesome, beautiful, interesting, powerful things that we could do to like really revolutionize our life from today, from October 3rd, 2025, 11:28 a.m.
So for intuition, like for attracting the things that we want, I believe vision boards are really powerful. So everything that I had on my vision board in January, pretty much I've got all of them achieved because I keep looking at it. It's right there on my desktop. And whenever I see it, I question myself, am I doing things which will make me achieve this? Am I taking required act? If not, I either change my intent. I ask myself that do you really have to put this on vision board if you don't want it, or do you really want it? So when the answer is yes, definitely I want it, I take the required action immediately.
Jamie said that hers is drinking coffee. She got she's a master at drinking coffee.
I'm pretty good at that too. Not a master, but
Yeah. So, okay, vision boards. What else? What else can we add here?
Vision
I
boards. Go ahead.
I want to be master in like finishing things. I'm good at starting and doing them, and I don't often give up necessarily, but I don't really finish, or I'm too spaced out, or like I don't always see the path clearly. I guess that I want to always
Now,
finish and work
do you want to
faster.
finish? Do you want to finish fast or do you want to finish slow?
I want to finish a little bit faster than want to be a little bit more effective. But yeah, I want to
But
finish.
some ladies do not like when you finish too fast. So
Yeah, but I don't want to be doing a project for too long. I sometimes they feel too long. I want to move on.
Oh, Mons, you're so too nice.
You mean okay, I didn't get it. Now I I follow. Yeah, I'm pretty slow there, but yeah.
Yeah. So okay, that's great. I would love that too. When it comes to practical things, I would love to, like be a better finisher. And if I could be
Yeah.
like the best finisher, then I could help her finish too.
Yeah,
It's
probably
going to
many
be
times also.
it's going to be difficult. I can tell.
point the point of becoming a great finisher is that you like is once you become good at it, you can choose when you're gonna finish.
Yes, that is true. You know,
For maximum effect, yeah.
whatever yeah, whatever timelines you give your brain, like if you say that I need to do this task in 10 minutes, you will take 10 minutes. If you say that I am going to do it in an hour, it will take an hour. If you don't set any deadlines, you will never finish. So setting deadlines for tasks is one of the things that you can finish faster.
Yeah.
Some people, I mean, if you never finish though, that's almost as bad as finishing too quickly.
Yeah, sometimes. Or you can like do
So,
do a long session.
so no, but that was really useful. Monica, what do you think? We're talking about. Do you guys want to summarize this? Meenakshi, what was
Yes.
we're talking about?
If you can finish faster, you can take multiple attempts to check. If it was incorrect, you can redo it. But finishing is important. You know, faster you finish, multiple times you can attempt it. But
Yeah,
if you're
so
taking long for finishing, probably when are you going to do it next time? I was
But it's
talking about writing a book.
yes,
it's also important to get back on the track after you have finished.
yes, to
Pretty
get back
quick.
on. Yeah,
It sounded like you are talking about a book.
that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about. That's what we're talking about. Starting.
Yeah.
Book. And then we say like like some of the lady readers that when they read, sometimes they don't like it when you finish too quick. But being a good finisher,
Depends how long it took you until you decide to write the book.
Yeah. If you think that book is not good enough, probably you can write another one. Probably you can edit in the same
Or you start
plot.
reading.
it began with this. So the topic today is intention and intuition, and we're talking about getting lost sometimes. If you got lost today and you didn't have your GPS to rely on, what would you do? You would really literally have to go to like ask somebody direction, so and then even what if you didn't have somebody to ask for directions? Then you have to rely on your intuition. You will have to go a certain direction and see if you're going in the right, see if you can recognize certain things and certain landmarks. And if you don't recognize anything, then you literally have to go another direction and see if you can recognize certain things on that direction, and then look at the streets and stuff, and then maybe find the map at some point or ask somebody eventually. So then we talked about getting better at something. We are a master of things that are useless sometimes. For example, for me, I said it was smoking. For Mons, what was yours? You said, oh, this
Nicotine.
nicotine. For Jamie, it's coffee. She said she's a master drinking coffee. For Meenakshi, she's attracting some toxic dudes into her life. So
Coffee. Yeah, coffee is hard.
yeah, I mean that's an easy one to say. Like it tells me nothing about you. Because it's like. It's like, oh yeah, it's acceptable, but for me, it's smoking weed. I'm a master at smoking weed. That's not accepted by some people, but
Yeah.
But then Mon said he would like to get better. So the question was this: there are those things that we're a master of that are not useful, and there are things that we could be a master of that are useful, like becoming a master at your finances, becoming a
Oh,
master.
nice, Joe. Nice one.
Yes, in your love life, becoming a master in your social life, becoming a master, on these things. So the question was this: what's one thing that you're a master of that's useless or like that's not very productive in your life that you like to replace with something that's very useful to your life? And that was the question. And then Mon said he would like to become a better finisher. He would like to finish.
Fast.
He would like to be like finish more things, but I think he means in the terms of procrastination.
Yeah.
He would like start stuff and then finish it. And then I said some ladies don't like it when you finish too quick.
Well, depends. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It doesn't depend. It's always true.
But it's almost as bad if you never finish.
Yeah, debatable.
Okay, tell me more.
No, I'm just kidding. You know.
He was talking about a book.
Yeah, of course. Did I say anything? But it's bad to start a book and never finish it, and it's bad to write a book and write it too fast and finish too fast.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a balance there.
Yeah. So, but I think it depends on, again, how we all know common sense, and we all know how connected we are with the end and mind of that book, what that book means to us, because I can say I have a quite long experience with writing from 2021, so I know it depends on, and then it becomes a habit. You implement it as a habit every day. You set aside some time for it. It's like an hour or two, or for me it was the first 2-3 hours of the day, and then it's like going to gym, and then it becomes part of your routine, of who you are, and then you really want to put your thought into the paper. It's the same thing that Joe does in the morning. I think, I don't know if you still do that, Joe. So now we are out. People know that we've been together. I'm kidding. So Joe in the morning he's writing, not a book, but he's writing tools, thoughts, ideas, isn't it? That's how he does his prime, besides standing on his own head, doing stand-ups and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah, I
what
need to
Joe
get back to
does.
that. I need to get back to that. That's I stopped doing that. I started going on the beach in the morning. But yeah, that's really important. So I've written 3 or 4 books. Monica's written 2 books already, I think, right?
4.
4?
Who's
Okay.
counting?
So
Yeah.
we're about the same here. Meenakshi, did you finish your book?
Yeah, I finished 2. I am going to start third one in December.
Nice.
I think for me, it's pretty much my last one. I think writing is one, and then marketing, and then ensuring that someone benefits from it.
Yeah. So let's get back to the topic, finishing.
Yeah, finishing, it's important. To me, it's very important.
And this is the opposite of procrastinating. Like, honestly, like we could twist it, in a funny way, but it really is important to finish well.
Yeah. But if we talk about finishing and then procrastination, if we connect this, procrastination is, anything that it doesn't roll. In the sense of we procrastinate, we delay, we don't follow through. I think it's because of an emotion or a thought, so to speak, behind that. So could be maybe, anyway, I'm not good. I don't know. You have to dig into your subconscious mind. You really want to find out why are you not finishing.
I found this question, what it was, and it's this.
Yes.
How long can I get away without doing this one thing and still be okay? That is the number one question for procrastination. How long can I get away with not doing this and still be okay?
I don't think for a very long time, if it's important and it's part of your, I don't know, character, personality, I would say. I wouldn't want to use words like identity, but if it's part of who you are and where you need to reach to be, I think it's gonna matter if you delayed for a long time.
Like taxes.
Sorry?
Taxes.
Oh yeah, because guys with the taxes is big problem. Even here, but
yeah. Like how long can I get away without filing my taxes or putting focus on the tax stuff? A long time. You can get away with this for a long time, but eventually it catches up.
Yes, exactly. I learned one thing. The more you avoid something, the more be when you have to face it. I learned it from personal experience. So now I'm trying not to avoid inconvenience, discomfort. Well, I'm not per se the word or the meaning of the word, but if something occurs, something comes up and I don't want to deal with it, which I used to be an avoidant, avoid until last minute, and then it catches me from the back, So now I'm trying to do the opposite, no avoiding, face it.
Strengthen that.
And I guess we all know that, no? Common sense.
Okay, so Monica, what's an area of your life that you deserve to master? That was the main question. What's an area of your life that you deserve to master? And you can start today.
It's raining here, so yeah.
October 3rd 11:43 a.m. Eastern time. If you could start mastering an area and become a master of it, you know, in the next year or 5 years or 10 years, what would that area be for the rest of your life?
Master it.
Master it completely, like you'll be the best at it, but you know, you gotta start today. Even if you suck at it right now, you know, you could start the process of becoming a master at these things.
So
Like,
we don't talk about, yes, please.
like getting your black belt, you know, like, you know, that's,
Yeah, I got that.
yeah.
But I'm trying to see because I could have a list of things I want to master and they can help me, right? But one thing, I got it. I got
Yeah,
it.
you can't be a master at 5 things. You know, that's what
No. But you know, it's like you go in a candy shop, right? So let's see. Top of my mind, storytelling. I mean, since you start to say the question to put the question, storytelling came to my mind. I think I would love to master storytelling.
Okay, so can I put you on the spot right now?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so give me a good story that you know how to say, a short story that you can tell us right now that you think that we will enjoy.
Enjoy, yeah. Yeah, enjoy. Well, you can, yeah. Basically, what story can I say that you can enjoy? Top of my mind.
Horror story.
What's that?
That's why, Meenakshi, that's why you're attracting these horrific dudes, because
What she says?
you love horror stories. Meenakshi loves
Horror
stories.
story. No, she said enjoy. Nobody can, I think, enjoy is really horror story. But it's nice
Yeah.
horror story. And,
Yeah, but Joe got it right. Actually, I have I've watched a lot of like psychopath love stories. If you have heard of the series on Netflix called You,
Yeah,
oh, that
What's
psychopath
that?
guy.
it's called You. It's a series on Netflix, and it's about this great guy. You should watch
Uh-huh.
it. Go ahead.
It's actually pretty
Really
good.
great
I
guy.
watched it.
Yeah,
He's a psychopath.
it's actually Meenakshi's ideal type.
I don't think we attract. I think we accept because we accept until we learn the taste, we learn the lesson. Because bad boys or bad girls will still come across, or we're bad matches or friends or whatever. So you have to really get better at it. At whether you have to choose yourself. You know, you have to start to learn to choose yourself. I mean, at least this is what happened to me. I've been on the floor. I've been really suffering a lot and repetition and all that, but I don't want to take the stage now. And storytelling, I think storytelling, it's something I enjoy. It's so many going in the airport and making friends and
Okay,
traveling.
that's a horrible story, Monica.
See?
Let's get back to finishing. Meenakshi, tell us a story. Meenakshi's a good storyteller. Meenakshi, tell us a short story about anything you want, and then you know just show us what a good story sounds like.
But by the way, I didn't mean that kind of storytelling, by the way.
Okay, let me try. See, my voice also became like a late night
Psycho
horror
voice.
storyteller.
Psycho voice. You got
Going into psycho story.
Okay.
Once
It
upon a
was
time.
Is it a meditation practice for horror?
Yeah, you can close your eyes. Let me take you back to 1990s. A well-dressed dude, you know, driving to old streets of California. It's a hot, sunny day. And suddenly he realized I still have time. I need to reach at 4 p.m. to see my friend. And he said, let me grab a chilled beer. Where do you think a guy will hang out if he has got an hour's time? So he just parked his car in the corner and just found a bar. It was a fancy bar, chandeliers, lights, nice music. He just entered the bar and ordered, hey, bartender, could you get me a chilled beer? I just want to relax for an hour and then I'll just drive back to my friend. Said, yes, definitely, sir. Please have a seat. The guy sat on the chair and was enjoying his beer. Suddenly, a lady joined him on the table and he asked, hey, I haven't seen you around. Are you from here? He said, no, I am just visiting a friend. I have an hour, so I thought I'll take a break. Okay, the guy started chit-chatting. The lady also chit-chat. What do you think happened? The guy woke up after 4 hours only only to find out his wallet was gone, his car keys were gone.
I thought they finished the book.
That's the end of the story.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
Monica, what'd you notice about that, the storytelling of Meenakshi, that you could maybe start applying to, to start developing that skill today?
That sounds just like I'm in school. That's wrong. Anyway, it's just starting with the story in mind, basically introduction and all that. I mean, I went to school, but I didn't mean that kind of a storytelling. I meant to be able to captivate an audience, not with the storytelling per se, like story too, but to know how to. It's the same Tony does, or Wayne Dwyer, or I don't know, some people like that. So that's what I meant. So it was my
Right.
bad,
It's the same skill, Monica.
Not really.
Like the way,
Like when
yeah,
we talk about our life, or like, when we
The
show our
structure, yeah.
personality, like to give color to the conversation, kind of, maybe.
yeah,
It's not.
it's the same
This
skill.
wasn't in a way you write. No, if you allow me, this wasn't a way you write a book to say a story. And I didn't mean that. But then you guys came in late, and you are right. I meant in a sense to say things that captivate what you want the audience to take away. So it's my bad.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
I mean, I've been studying storytelling for, over 5 years, and what
Mhm.
Meenakshi did just that, because the whole point of storytelling is you have a framework. If I were to give you a framework, Meenakshi, do you have a framework for storytelling? You're muted. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
So, yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, storytelling, if you're writing or like reciting your story, there are like, first thing is that you engage all the senses of the people. Like, let them visualize it, let them take a sense of how would it smell, and a little bit of kinesthetic, how is the setting, what is happening around, engage all the five senses, and then keep the variety. It shouldn't be like, if this is a horror story, he saw a ghost and another ghost and another ghost. No, it's like everything is normal, bright sunny day, then suddenly something happened, then suddenly something happened, then the
That's Sarah.
ending. Yeah. So the brain loves variety, and have some surprise element, have some engaging, suspense for people, so that people are motivated to read until the end. And it doesn't have to be a horror or suspense story every time. If you have a happy story as well, then just keep on adding variety to it. So if you're reciting it, if you are in the audience, if you're speaking, then you can just use a little bit of tonality in your voice. So pretty much
Yes.
about
And
storytelling.
that's what I noticed. It's basically like it's not like that. There's different types of stories, and I understand that part from Monica. It's different type of stories, but the framework and the concept is the same. It's like you're captivating the audience with intrigue, with curiosity, fascination. You're explaining things, you're describing things in a way. And the first thing to describe is the setting. Like, what does this world look like? She said it's a bar. Who is there? She said it's a man. A man is at the bar. Okay, now you start picturing these things
What's up, young man? You doing all right? Tell me real quick.
when you hear the story. So
It be like that. How you been, brother? Been good? We got to link up, man. What's up, baby? How you been? How's everything?
So yeah, so basically you're setting the story, like explaining the setting and then describing details. So she described the bar, she described the man. She says the man, what did he want? What did the man want? He wanted a beer, and then he wanted a not just any beer. He wanted a cold beer. So then he talked to the bartender. What did he do? He talked to the bartender. It's a very simple story, but just being this simple, like that's what's captivating, because you're like, okay, I wonder what's gonna happen next. Okay, I wonder what's gonna happen next. And then afterwards, what happened? Everything was normal, everything was cool, like da-da-da-da. And then boom, he woke up. His wallet was missing. So that's called a twist, and that's a big part of storytelling, because if you started a story and you said everything is fine, and then you turn the page and you said everything is still fine, and then you turn the page again, everything is still just fine, would you finish this book?
No. I
Yeah.
think
So the
that
twist. Yeah.
Story
Twists
can
can
also
be
be
really
like,
okay. Right.
I was thinking like it can also bring like context to like a message. Like for example, have you read the book Man's Search for Meaning? Like it's about a guy in a concentration camp, and what I mean is if you bring a story, a context, or like a development, and then build like insights on that and a message, it will be stronger. Like so, I think you can bring that together to also form a stronger message. Yeah.
Yes, there's a recipe to storytelling. There's a recipe, there's a framework, there are things that work. You can use your own originality into it, but there are things that are like not changing, which are like you have to describe, you have to be simple, you have to be understandable, and then it helps that Meenakshi has like this accent that everybody loves, you know? She's just like, oh, I just want to listen to you all night. Just talk to me, and then I'll fall asleep, you know, as you speak.
Yeah. Also, if you start your story with details like this, like you give somebody a date, 1995, California, people prepare their brain that, okay, something has happened on this date in this city. So people prepare for like, okay, story is coming up or something happened. Also, if, there are a couple of things which are really obvious. If a man meets a woman, somewhat a brain perceives it that, they are going to hang out, there's going to be romance or something like that. But something out of box happens. So that sparks, that actually, kind of breaks that monotony that the story is flowing in. And somewhat, if you are writing a motivational story, the motivational story also starts with such a same flow. It's not like that you're talking about, I struggle with this, then I overcame the struggle and happy endings. No. What was life before when the struggle started? What was the struggle? How did you feel? What was the identity shift when you were actually going through that struggle? What was that one breakthrough point where you felt that, what, it's enough? What was that first step that you took towards your transformation? What was the resistance? How did you overcome? How did you feel now when everything is over? So if you see, it's a kind of sine wave in itself. Everything was happy, then something happened, then you started your journey of change, then you got some resistance, then you overcome that, now you're on the other side. So it keeps that kind of variety. Something happens, something high low, so this creates a variety.
Exactly, yes. And then so let's do a quick example here. Okay, Monica, she's a self-love coach. So can you do a quick story that would resonate with that audience? Like let's make the theme self-love. How would you craft a story about self-love, Meenakshi?
Okay, give me some ideas so that I can quickly craft that story.
Okay. So let's say Stacy is dating a lot of toxic men because she has no self-love. And then she learns at some point she finds self-love in her life, and then she's able to meet somebody who really appreciates her, and then now she's happy.
Okay, yeah, good enough. September 3rd, 2050. A young little girl named Stacy lives in California, grown up with love, full of life. She's the kind of a woman who loves to enjoy life, is happy in her own self. She went to high school and realized that there's more to life. It's not just you. You can also find a partner for yourself and have a happy life thereafter. She went to the school one day and meets her friend, and she's talking all about her boyfriend today. Hey, Stacy, you know what? I met this amazing guy and he took me to this outing and we had a lot of fun. Listening to her friend's story, Stacy is really inspired to find the guy that she really wants to be with. She wants to take her own sweet time because she wants to know what exactly she wants. Stacy's childhood was really difficult. She had an absent father, so she couldn't really enjoy how to be loved. Everything that she has earned today, a loving family, friends, every time she had to prove her worth by doing stuff, by doing things, by caring for others. And that's what Stacey believes now, that in order to earn love, I have to keep performing, I have to keep giving. It's a prom night today, and people are meeting to find the one that they can share the prom night with. So is Stacy there looking for that dream guy who she can share her life with, who she can share the prom night with, and truly believe that she deserves love just being present. She did meet a guy. In the beginning, it was all amazing. Long talks, going out on dates, having fun, spending those nights together. She felt loved. She felt loved up to that extent. She felt like this guy, Ben, is pouring everything onto her. Love, care, affection she deserved. One day, Stacy and Ben were going out. They planned an outing and it was a busy day. It was a busy Friday night. They went to a restaurant and they ordered some food, but somehow, since the crowd was too much in the restaurant, the waiter got late in getting this order. Ben was becoming so furious on the restaurant staff that he literally yelled at waiter, "What's happening here? Don't you see that we have been waiting? Please bring our order as quickly as possible." This was the first time Stacy has seen Ben so furious, so angry. She wanted to understand what's wrong with him. She just put her hand on his and asked, "Ben, are you okay?" Ben yelled at Stacy as well. "Yes, definitely I'm okay. What do you think? They are delaying our order. What else do you expect me to say to him?" Stacy being Stacy, she thought something is wrong with her. Maybe she wasn't able to understand his emotions. And this was not the first instance where Ben treated her bad. Event after event, Ben's behavior kept getting worse. He would drink and behave such a rude, bad behavior with Stacy that she couldn't understand what's happening. She thought she need to perform even better. She need to become better at understanding Ben's emotion. But what she did not understand, that Ben wasn't right for her. She wanted to talk to someone who can really understand her. She started taking a therapy. She started going to psychology class to understand Ben and herself better. And there she found a guy named Kevin. Kevin was a really sweet guy. He was empathetic. He actually understood what Stacy was going through. He has been studying psychology for a really long time, and he actually showed her that whatever is happening in Stacy's life wasn't her fault. She need to accept herself.
Let's leave it at a cliffhanger, like end with a cliffhanger, and then let's just go through the structure, so we can start dissecting it a little bit.
Okay. What could be a cliffhanger? If you want to know more what happened to Stacy,
you got to go to Meenakshi's OnlyFans, and then she'll finish the story.
Yeah, just DM me.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the OnlyFans. It's only $49.99 if you want to listen to the rest of the story. So the end. Okay, I'll put thoughts. What do you guys think about the story, and the structure? Because this is really powerful stuff. I have a friend of mine that gets paid thousands of dollars for a couple of days just to go out and teach storytelling to corporate executives, because this is important. This is an important skill. Why is it important? You saw right there how Mance and I were like, close our eyes, just listening, because it's enjoyable. And this is a great way, like teachers, like elementary school teachers, you have a bunch of kids that don't care about what you're saying, but with good storytelling, you can make them care about something. Why is Disney so powerful? Because they make people care about the stories. How do you make people care about a story? You tell the story. Storytelling.
And we are yearning into like imagination. It's like designing worlds, and like our imagination affects our emotions, our states. Like it's similar principle with visualization. But if you read a book, it's like, entering a new world. You get to see the reality from a different perspective, from another point of view, from another experience. Like we are often like in our own reality and just have our own experience. And I think that can be a way to expand our perception and get a deeper understanding of how experiences form people and lessons. I think we can learn things by, listening into, like when people explain their lives, that's like a story, like where they come from, where they're going, what they have learned through it. It's like a story. And what we think, our opinions, how we view things, and the lessons, that comes from the story of our life often. So like, I think it's powerful. Like it's also a good way to train the imagination. And that's a superpower in itself.
Right. And then it goes back to the old adage of like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because what you say could be super important and super crucial to somebody's life. But if you don't package it properly in the form of a story, tonality, like the different rhetorical devices, literary devices, this is why English is a class. Literature is a class because there's so much to it. It's like it's the art of shaping language. Linguistics is a science. Why is linguistics a science? Because you can say things in one way and people don't care. And you can say things. Why is politics a thing? Because you can say things in one way, so it's about what you say. You could say absolutely not. I know people who are really good at this. They say absolutely nothing really well, and I love them because every time I'm like, "Oh my God, wow, you're so captivating!" Wow, I'm like, I just want to listen to everything you got to say, even though there's no substance,
Yeah.
And these people, you usually meet them at the bar, and they tell the best stories. Like I met this dude. It was the Greek guy at a restaurant. I think the restaurant was called Cheers in St. Louis, and it was me and my buddy. We were traveling. I was helping him with his stuff that was in storage because he was moved to Salt Lake City, Utah. So we got on our journey and we stopped at this little bar in St. Louis. And then we sat down at the bar and we didn't know what to order. So the bartender was like, "What do you want?" And then we're like, "Whatever you want to give us." And she's like, "I love you." And she prepared like the best food. And she gave it, and it was delicious. We didn't even order anything, and she gave us exactly what we needed. And there was this Greek guy like that sat next to us, and he started telling us story after story. He said that he was like in the coast of Greece, and then he was on a yacht, and then like he met this dude that was on a yacht. He was poor, but he knew how to like drive yacht. So he was on this yacht, and then he was like in his speedo, and then but it didn't matter because he was like, "Okay, fuck it, just like, I need a driver, so get on." So some dude invited him to get on the yacht in his speedo and drive his yacht, and then they got in an accident on the yacht. So, I don't know if the story was true, but it was entertaining, And then what's more powerful for persuasion, for inspiration, for like helping somebody than first you gotta captivate their attention. That's the first thing. If you don't have their attention, you have nothing.
That is so. And also, why stories are like a great tool is because if you chunk everything up, everyone's story is pretty much it's like people had a normal life, then some struggle happened, then they got out of it. But you got to really chunk it down to finer details to make sure that the story looks like really authentic and original. Because if you say a story that I had struggles, then I got out of it, nobody will remember it because it's pretty much everyone else's story. What keeps people hanging, what keeps people engaged and hooked up to your story? It's that closure that people are looking for. And that comes when the story is really personalized. You get into those fine details of emotional and identity pain that you were going through. Like if it is about self-love, you can't just say that she was struggling with self-love issues and she did not know her worth. How exactly she felt, what exactly not having self-love looks like. Because for someone who has got self-love, it's very difficult to imagine how lack of self-love looks like. For someone who has never experienced schizophrenia, it's very difficult for them to imagine what schizophrenia looks like. So you got to really go deeper into details. And if you go deeper into details, people will be hooked up because they will need a closure. Your brain doesn't like unfinished story, which is why if you see a lot of now apps which works on short story or short drama, they start with very tragic story that a girl is being beaten up or a man is really poor, and they show you a bit of like 15-20 minutes of story, and then they ask you to subscribe to this channel. Why? Because you would want to know what happened, how did this end? Did the person find peace? Did the person find the girl? Which is why love stories are like that. A guy meets a girl, then they get separated. Now people are hooked up until the end. Did they get closer again? So, somewhat every story is like this, that your brain is going to crave for closure.
Yes, back to finishing.
Finish, so don't fit too quick.
Yeah, so what would be the example of a cliffhanger here? It's like, I'll finish next time.
Probably the next book, my upcoming book.
Next book.
Yeah, you can sell 2 books this way. Somebody who's reading your like second book, they will be inspired to buy the first book. That this is the beginning of the story.
Yes.
And then the volume 2 coming. I think if you have watched this movie, Lord of the Rings, and if you have read these series, I think every movie, every book ends in such a way that you're inspired to read. I mean, I couldn't, my mind couldn't rest until I watched what's happening in the end. And so are some of the really bestsellers, thriller, suspense books are. They finish it some cliffhanger so that you're motivated to buy the second volume.
Yes, that Harry Potter, perfect example. Like, it never ends. It never ends. Just always going. I haven't read one of those books, but I know like Gen Z grew up on that. It's like their Bible, which is probably not a good thing, but whatever. Like, it's a good book. It's a good written book. Like J.K. Rowling, she's a genius, maybe. So like, what else? What's another one? The Lord of the Ring,
Lord of
great
the
written
Rings.
book. I never read it, but like millions of people have read like all of the series,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's a good book.
the series for Goosebumps, I think my genre now. So the expression in that book is really amazing, that you can actually visualize. You feel like it's happening to you. And so
Yeah.
is J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. I've read 3 books from J.K. Rowling, and every book has got really amazing expression. Like, if you don't watch the movie, or people who have actually read the novel and not watched the movie, they think that movie is not able to imagine the things that she has written. They are not able to recreate those things. So she has got a really fine expression of details that you can actually visualize things, and that takes you into another world. And your brain likes when you go into a fantasy world. For some people, like I'm a Piscean, I totally love things which are supernatural when you go into another dimension.
Yeah, me too. And I think like books, they engage the imagination in a different way. So I wish I read more probably the stories in books. I like movies, but books has a way to go in with your imagination. Yeah. It's interesting like how always good stories has like a darkness, a struggle. Like that is what is entertaining. Like we need that in life. Often people think that we just want good times, or like we just want like everything to be easy. But I think the same principle is with our own life. Even if we go like through darkness, like our story becomes better if it's like ups and downs and turmoils and lessons. And that is often what engages us with like the story. Like Lord of the Rings, like the story wouldn't be as good if it was just, positive. You need the darkness and the rise out from.
Right.
To
I'm sitting on a beach drinking a mojito and I do nothing else. Is that interesting? No, I am living on a mountain on the wilderness and then I have to survive. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. We like that. When it's life and death, or like, when it's for real. Like I always like stories that goes like deep into like the soul, like when the struggle is real. Like, because that is when, you get out the most interesting things about people. Like if they really face stuff, you see how they react and how they overcome. That hits often deeper. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start wrapping up and summarizing. This last 10 minutes here. So we started with intuition and intention, and then trusting our intuition and intention, which we talked about Wednesday. We had a great chat on Wednesday about that. Trusting yourself, trusting like where you need to go, trusting that you will get there, like basically trusting God, trusting the universe. And then we get into like finishing well. And then we get into storytelling, which ties right into finishing and ties right into intention. So let's say if we had an intention to write a story right now, which we can very well do, about our own life from this age, this year, right now, what would that story look like? An interesting one, a beautiful story of our life from today going forward. Like you're gonna have goals. You gotta have goals in there. You gotta have intentions to do, and then you gotta have stages. Like there's gonna be, let's say for example, if your goal is to become mega wealthy, like you gotta change up the story every few years, because now you're not gonna be starting from this point where you are right now. Let's say you're gonna start from, okay, now I have a mansion, I have all that. Okay, boom, 3 years from now. Okay, so now that's the second book. Like I'm wealthy. I have like a farm. I have like, a private jet, I have $1 million in the bank. Boom, I lose it all overnight. oh my God, what do I do now? How do I make my millions again?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting story.
Yeah. So we got to come up. This is your homework. This is our homework. This is my homework too, which is craft a story from now until you develop the wealth that you want in your life in any area. And then that will be the first story. That's story number one. And then once you're done with the first story, then we can start working on story number two. But now, or you know what? If you want to start from the moment and then go back, because I know I'm dyslexic sometimes, and I know Monica is definitely dyslexic. We're like we see things backward. So I like to start at the ending sometimes. So it's like, okay, I made it, I'm here, this is what I have, what happened, how did I get it, how did I traverse this journey in order to obtain these things that I have now, coming from the standpoint of, hey, I already made it.
That's a very good way of thinking, because it's manifestation in the process. Like to think that you're already there, but you're still walking the path.
Right. Yeah. So if you could put yourself in that character, like put yourself in character, like your character is the person writing the story, and then you're saying, well, I'm here, I'm here, I made it. Let me tell you the story of how I did it. It started on one day, October 3rd, 2025. I was in my room on a fucking Zoom, just not knowing what the fuck I was doing there in the first place. And then a series of events happened that I could not believe. The power went out, everything went black. And then I woke up with no money, no wallet. Naked in a Honda Civic on the side of the highway. I see flashing police lights behind me, and I'm over here naked in the driver's side. And I tell to myself, this is gonna be awkward.
Well, that's a good story. So will you manifest it?
I wonder what will happen after this. I wonder.
Whenever you decide to do a pre-sales of your book, I'll buy a copy.
Oh man, I actually wrote a song about this. Okay, let's end with this. Where is it? Okay, so back to the secret. Your job is to declare what you would like to have from the catalog of the universe. If cash is one of them, say how much you would like to have. For example, the statement goes like, I would like to have $25,000 unexpected income within the next 30 days.
Yeah.
So that's the second part of the homework. You need to craft your statement. And I'm gonna do this again. I did this last week, and it actually produced something. So I would like to have blank amount of dollars unexpected income within the next 30 days. It should be believable to you. So it should be an amount that you've already done at your peak. When you were really going, and then boom. But this is unexpected income. So you didn't expect it. It just came out of nowhere, like when somebody finishes.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So how do we bring this together? All right. So final thoughts, reflections. What are your reflections? So Mons, Meenakshi, let's do final reflection, and then we'll end.
So for me, if we see it technically, every event that we go through, every success that we go through, it does have a story behind it. Whether it's our graduation, whether it's getting a job, whether it's quitting a job, getting married, getting divorced, everything is technically a story. And maybe we don't know, we do have an intent, whatever task we are doing, whether it's a job. Maybe we intend to just draw a paycheck. Sometimes it's our own business where we intend to help people. And also our intuition keeps us telling whether we are going in the right direction or not, which is why we keep changing path every now and then. We feel that this job is not for us. We keep switching. If something is not working right in our business, we do change the strategy. So if everything is already a story, why not just set the intent for the final result, trust our intuition, and have that visualization. What are we going to do and face so that we can attract what we want? Rather, we don't know the final intent and we follow our intuition only to realize, oh, this was not the intent. So probably setting an intent and trusting your intuition, taking the right action will definitely help us in chasing our goals effectively.
Mons, what's your final reflection?
I think like now I thought about, the what we can think about what story we are playing right now and where it is headed, but also like what kind of twist can we do to get where we want to go. It can be good to see our life as a story sometimes, and that can also brings like self-awareness. But also like, if we're gonna go, we are like the architect in some ways of the story, depending on how well we can master ourselves and our direction. But I guess just to think, what story will we play out to get where we want to go? Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Like having which story are we playing right now? And
Yeah.
a self-awareness that like what story am I playing right now? You may be playing the wrong fucking story.
Yeah,
You know?
sometimes we need a twist. Often, like in stories, it's often like very intense experiences or like abrupt things that change like the trajectory of the story. But sometimes that can be a good thing to rock our boat, but also to consciously be able to shift it, because often I think many people just run on autopilot. Like, for example, if you see a person, you can like, okay, you can see where they are going. You can see like their story. They are not changing. Like some people can be very predictable in the story. And like, I think it's good to see that you can change it and you don't need like some dramatic things in order to change it.
Yeah, and then well, yeah, you don't need it, but it is useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do something dramatic
Yeah.
to mark a turning point.
Yeah, that's the fastest way. Like life is like choice points, and we are like going like in different all the time, regardless of what we decide. And different choices leads to different. If we just start a new habit or like something, we are like walking into a new world, a new story. Like a small things can actually create massive effect in time and space and what life we are playing out. Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is what I'd like to have more of coming, like moving forward. Like you see how like I said something and then he said something because he just fed off of what I said. Boom, 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 and it just goes boom, point by point. This is what I like more. This is what I love. I love this. This is like a ping pong conversation where like it really does build on top of the next thing, you know? We had a great conversation on Wednesday, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't that. Because sometimes somebody can carry the whole conversation. That dude has so much energy. Like he can carry the whole conversation, and like you'll be engaged because he's like coming up with it like blah blah blah. Like everything he said, it was kind of shocking. It was like whoa, like what the you know. But for us regular people here, this is better because this is a growth podcast. So we want to be able to grow on top of what each other is saying and build. Like you put a brick, I put a brick, you put a brick, we'll put some cement on it. Then we'll put another brick, another brick, another brick, we put some cement on it. At the end of the 90 minutes, we should have a little room.
Yeah, it's like, we walk into like a journey together. If someone builds, another build, it's like everybody's going along and we are finding out where we are leading. Instead of just people jumping in separately, it's like, it's not like building the same world, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like jumping a few steps from your staircase. Also, just to add to it, which what you said, when we are writing our own story, when we know ending, we can add something dramatic. Also, if we know the ending and everything becomes constant in your story, that means you're also in your comfort zone. If you want that goal to happen, probably you need to step out of your comfort zone. That's what dramatic change means. Something where you get comfortable and now you got to step into that uncomfortable zone, because that's what growth looks like.
Exactly. So for example, like storytelling, this is a great topic to touch on moving forward. We should definitely do more storytelling because that's important on podcasts and generally. So talking about the art of storytelling, that's interesting in itself. Telling great stories, that's interesting on its own. Putting those two things together, like I said, bouncing back and forth with different bricks, like building on bricks or blocks, that's also like a good thing. So we got a good thing going. Like I told you guys before, I'm committed to this for the next 5 years. So like
Me too, actually. Yeah.
my job is to just improve over time and just keep getting better at it. Like sometimes I'll invite a bunch of people and sometimes I won't invite anybody just to see who shows up, and then that way I can see a different dynamic, like what's the best ratio of people, what kind of people are the best for these conversations, like and then all these, there's so many things, so many dynamics that we could put together. I would like to start putting together a list of of the qualities that are important here in order to have the best interaction, for us to have the most fun, like the humor, the whole finishing thing was hilarious. Like stuff like that, that's important to me because I love finishing.
Yeah, but if it's too much, like
Yeah. And I think what was really powerful today is what I learned is that definitely storytelling to audience is important. But if my story can inspire other people, what if I tell myself a story? How
Mm.
would that shape my future? How would that change me? How would that make me feel inspired, on that particular day?
Well, it
If
has
I
to be.
am
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, if I'm so good at storytelling, why can't I start with telling a story to myself towards the beginning of the day? That's how your day is going to look like, and I
Yeah,
have no choice.
you already telling yourself a story every single day. So I think it's more like changing that story, but it has to be simple enough to be able to tell it to yourself every day. Like it has to be super simple, because if you try to tell yourself like an elaborate new story, you're not even gonna want to tell it or hear it or read it. It has to be
Yeah.
simple. It has to be simple and sweet and short.
Yeah, I think that's what I did not realize so far, that I've been telling myself a story which is not working in my favor. If I've been telling a story, why not make it work in my favor? Because what I realize that I'm very good at manifesting, very, very good. And I've not realized it so far. It was a kind of journey that I've begun towards my self-discovery. That's when I realized. And how did I realize? Like universe made me see it, that quite literally it's your own manifestation. I was in Goa. I was attending a retreat program. So it was a retreat program where they have everything arranged for us. It was a sattvic retreat program. So sattvic is, like I told you, it's a high pranic energy food that they give us. So they did not have any tea, coffee, or anything that gives you a kind of a boost, artificial boost. So they were promoting a drink called kombucha, and I've never drank that, and I did not want to take it, but the girl offered me really sweetly. She said, "Why don't you try this? We are promoting it." I couldn't say no. I had to accept it. And I just took a sip. I shouldn't say this, but it wasn't good. I don't want to say anything negative about it, but it wasn't good. It wasn't something that I prefer. And we were made to sit on floor to eat. And entire time I was like, I wish someone could kick it accidentally. It spills over so that I don't have to drink it. And 10 minutes, this thing went into my mind. Exactly same thing happened. One of my friends that I met during the retreat accidentally kicked it. And the girl sitting next to me, I was telling her that, you know what, I wanted to fall, like it has happened accidentally. So everyone was like, yes, you manifested it. And I thought to myself that day, if I'm so good at manifesting, why don't I manifest the positive things? Why am I attracting negative life?
Because the law of attraction attracts whatever you think about, regardless of it's something you want or something you don't want. So
Yeah.
I have a similar story. I was in California, in LA, in Hollywood, and I was staying with these guys in a hostel. Like it was a guy and a girl. And then like he rented a car and he said, let's go to TJ. This is Tijuana, Mexico. We crossed the border to Tijuana, Mexico. And then I was kind of jealous because like he had the girl and I didn't. I was by myself. So like I think something happened where I don't know, but I was really mad. I was angry and I was just ignoring everybody. I'm like, fuck this, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't say anything. I was just holding it all in. And then the next thing you know, like somebody hits the car and then we get in an accident, and I manifested that thing because I was bringing in so much negative energy into this situation, and then we get in a car accident, boom, and now I'm free from the situation. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to be free from it. So I stayed in TJ that night. I let them go. I stayed in TJ, and then I flew to my friend's house in Guadalajara, in another state in Mexico. But yeah, I manifested that whole thing because I didn't want to be there. So I was like, oh, I don't want to be here. That I get this guy. I had all this negativity inside. Boom, somebody hit the car.
That's
I
crazy.
hope
Yeah.
everyone was safe.
So all right, guys, appreciate you.
Yeah.
You bet. You want to do a mini exercise, Meenakshi, or?
Yes, let's do this.
All right, let's do a mini one. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's think about our stories. Very quickly, just sit comfortably. 3 quick deep breaths. Slowly inhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. One more time. Deep breath. Inhale. And exhale very slowly. One last time. Inhale. And exhale all the tension, stress, all the negativity. Be present, fully here, aware of yourself. And together, let's go back to our mind palace. Do you remember how it looks like? What colors do you have in your mind palace? Purple, blue, gold, white. Remember your curtains, lights, furniture in your mind palace. Just look at a cupboard in your mind palace. There is a golden, shiny diary in there. Just walk up to the cupboard, pick this diary. What does it say? It says your story within next 3 months. It has a pen. You open the diary and see all the pages are blank. You have the chance to write your story for next 3 months. What would you write? What do you want to manifest in next 3 months? What is the amount of money that you want to attract? What are the opportunities you want to attract? Any travel opportunities, job, work, business, clients, love, mental peace, advancement in your spiritual journey? Just write on the last page of the diary. January 3rd, I achieved $100,000 in revenue from my business, attracted my dream client, attracted my dream destination for travel. What is the work that you want to attract? Visualize what is the hard work that you're going through, all the struggles that you have made. Sometimes the ride was difficult, sometimes it was easy because you were committed 100% to achieve it. All the calls that you made, all the people that you have interacted with, all the opportunities where you have showed up 100%, your discipline, commitment, intent, intuition, everything is aligned with this goal. Embody this version of yourself who has achieved this on January 3rd. Look at your goals. Look at your story. Live that story from today onwards and take all the necessary steps that you would need to achieve this goal on January 3rd. Take that diary in your hand, press it onto your heart. Every word that you have written, commit to it 100%. Feel this story getting embedded on your heart. Whenever you're ready, come back with this feeling, with your goals and your achievements, like you have already achieved it. Whenever you're ready, join me back in the room.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
see you on January 3rd with an amazing story.
Yes. Let's work on our stories and then let's work on our statement and then we'll take up next week. I think next week maybe the topic will be storytelling.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, and finishing.
I will work on that.
Oh, man, they're so sweet. Such a simple guy.
All right, guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
All right, see you. Bye. Enjoy your
Welcome to
weekend.
the
Bye
zone.
bye.
Yeah, yeah. Step in, wipe your feet, this a focus zone. White belt tied tight, but my mind fully grown. Bow to the moment, sensei say be here. I silence the noise, make the vision real clear. Phone face down, I don't scroll, I don't slip. While they thumb through distractions, I sharpen the grip. One target, one flame, let it burn in the dark.